Hello and welcome to the Legacy Lost Music and Radio Paradise Show. Let's see if it works this time. I'm doing a comparison overview of two of the most popular magnet mount CB antennas. The little K30 here, which is made by K40, and the Wilson 1000. And this has a matching capacitor inside it. It's one piece, so there's not much of bandwidth on this one. You set it to channel 20, for example, and then once you start going off band, the SWRs start going higher, so it's not very broadbanded. The good thing is it's a small footprint. I have had no problems going 65 to 70 mile an hour on the highway. This is about 3 foot high, and it's a little long. I need to trim about a 1/4 inch off it on that one. I haven't done that yet. It comes with RG58 cable, and comes with a plastic molded and then PL259 connector, and I think it's got like 16, 17 feet or something, maybe coax, something like that. Anyway, and then this is the most common probably magnet antenna is the Wilson 1000, and I'll go over this real quick. Had it about 7 years. It's definitely about 2.5, 3 foot taller lengthwise, so that's part of the reason why it gets out and hears a little better. A disadvantage of a longer whip is when you're driving, it bends. It bends back, and it likes to go to the back part of the water, and part of the water, excuse me, in the air, so your angle of radiation is going to change. And so what happens is this will get pushed back, and you're going to be directional. So the shorter and stiffer the whip is, you get to have more omnidirectional coverage. So instead of going like this or that, it's good. The goal is to keep it centered best you can. So a shorter whip is not going to flex as much, so you're going to be more omnidirectional when you're driving when wind affects it. So this has a 3.5 inch magnet. This has I think a 5-inch magnet. So you can see this has definitely got a bigger base. They do make a couple other antennas, a little Will, which is equivalent to this. They have a Wilson 500, which is I think still one piece instead of a removable coil, which is like in between these two antennas, is a good alternative. They make a 2000, a trucker one with a like a 3/8 thread, and they also make a 5000, which uses RG8X mini versus RG58 on this, and the coil is a little thicker inside. It holds more power supposedly too, but if you're not going to notice really any significant difference at all running this between this and the 5000. It's power handling basically, and better coax. This is an interesting thing too. It has a removable coil. So the coil definitely comes off. And the whip here, it's got like an O-ring in the center and a center pin. And on here you got an SO239 connector. So that is removable. It comes with a rain cap. So if you're like in a parking garage, or you just don't want anybody to steal your way for a while, you just take this off, leave the magnet on wherever, and you just put the little rain cap over where that little PL SO239 is on here, and then then you don't have to worry about that. This has a little bit of a crack in here, a little bit, and this has been out in the sun for a while. It's this color. It used to be really white. Now it's got a little bit of a yellowish color just from oxidation and whatnot. Now, before I go any further, I did a test on this at a friend's base station about 12 miles away. We did a comparison, same vehicle. All I did is same radio. All I did is swap out the antennas in the same spot on the roof, and this gets out about 1 dB on the meter more than this one, meaning I was giving them 3 pounds on the meter on this one approximately, and up to 4 with this one. So you get about a dB on the meter, about 10-12 miles away. Same condition. So, is it worth the difference? The price is about $30-40 of these, and these are about 75 to maybe 90 or so. I'm not really sure what they go for now, but it's over double the price for that for 1 dB. Is it worth it? Well, if you're need to get out every little bit you can, in a word, yes. Especially if you're using a stock radio with no power or low power. Plus it helps to receive it. So the antenna is always a critical point. Always start with your antenna usually first. But this is a good alternative. You can fit this right in your trunk. So like I said, it's real small, and it's only 1 dB or so difference on the meter. Real world testing. So that might actually be worthwhile, Or is this a secondary spare? So, and then this is a great option for installs. This comes loose, and this is actually a 2-piece cable to thread through the what do you call it? Say like your firewall or gap or something. It's a lot thinner. You don't have to drill as big a hole. You can snake this through. So I think it's like a TNC or something. I'm not really sure what that is. Mini UHF maybe. But that separates, and you can snake that through a hole. Instead of a hole this big, you go a lot smaller. So it's like half, almost the diameter of it. So that helps out quite a bit with the install. So anyway, let me just get this. I'm going to thread this back on. And I'm doing that with one hand, so I'm not doing too bad with that. So and hopefully this is actually going to take this time. This is the 3rd or 4th time I've tried this, and I've had problems with the sound, and I've recorded one version on the other tablet, and the video and sound quality on that's very poor for a $25 Walmart tablet. And this is a Nexus I'm using here. But anyway, this screws back on here, so you got many more install options with this versus that, as far as like snaking it through. So anyway, this is probably one of the best mag mount antennas you can get, and this is a compromise. Again, not as broadbanded, but this doesn't flex as much. This is a lot cheaper. You get more performance reception. It is taller. It's got bigger of a wind load. It all depends what you want, but they're both excellent antennas for what they are. But if you're using a primary thing, I would recommend the Wilson 1000 over this, just because of the performance advantage, and the magnet's a little bit sturdier. But if you need an emergency thing, this will work in a pinch, not a problem. You only lose a little bit of transmit receive. But remind you that once you, if you put on, say, channel 20, the SWRs will go up higher, faster on this one than this one, because it's broadband, and this uses a little capacitor in here, and this has a better coil loading system. And of course, the more antenna, the more metal in the air, the better you get for a quarter wave, because you're trying to make this basically a 102-inch whip, give or take, or 108, whatever would be exactly a quarter wave. You want to match it. You're trying to shorten it, and every time you shorten the thing, you get compromised and have a little bit of loss. So this is less of a loss than that one on, for performance. And like I said, they make a couple other ones, but I think you'll be very happy with this one, or that one, whatever you choose. But this is, I would run with this if you have to, absolutely. So, this would be the better one to do for performance-wise. So give us a thumbs up. Peace. Thanks for watching. Any other questions, feel free to comment. 73s.